Sup, boys? What is going on, man? How are y'all doing? It's Monday. It is July 17th, 2023. You are listening to Just My Two Cents. Welcome. Hope y'all had a good weekend. This stream is going to be recapping UFC Vegas 77 and doing a little bit of a preview for UFC London. London, England. It's taking place this weekend in London town. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too. But most of the stream is going to be the UFC Vegas 77 recap. Join me, won't you? So yeah, it was a weekend of fights. My picks were okay. They weren't the worst they've ever been. My bets were about as bad as they've been all year. And I got my ass whipped by a bunch of goddamn bookie nerds. Nerds! Yeah, the bookie said, "Oh, got up on us this year, did you?" Yeah, we'll see about that. Grab him. Took me out back. Took everything I've won off of them recently. I just recently got up on the bookies last weekend. They took all of it and a little bit more. So I'm back down in the hole just a little bit. But you know what? It was fun. I didn't end up really losing that much money. But yeah, it was not good for me. It was not a good night for me as far as betting. But picks were okay. The fights kind of sucked. This was one of those cards where I feel like a lot of times we say, like, this card sucks on paper and then it ends up delivering a little bit. This one did not. This one sucked on paper, sucked in actuality. My bets fucking sucked. Just kind of a shitty card all around for me. I know some people cleaned up. I was not the only one that lost this weekend, though, so that makes me feel a little bit better. But yeah, just wasn't a good weekend for me with the gambling. But you know what? I'm not too down on myself. I know that I can get back up with another good weekend this weekend. So that's what I'm going to focus on. But I have to recap this card. I have to eat some crow. There were some fights where I just completely had the wrong read. There were some where, like, yeah, it wasn't the worst, like, bet in the world, but just didn't work out. And then, I don't know, man. There was kind of some weird fights. Some of them went exactly how I thought they would. There were definitely some spots where I wish I had invested a little bit. And definitely some spots I wish I'd stayed away from. But let's talk about it. Shout out to my dude, the homie, the general, Alex Ramirez. Shout out to the Dome. Dome in here strong. I'm back underwater, lobby. Damnedest thing I ever seen before. Let me get a turn, big boys. Let me get another turn. Yep. The carousel never stops. And I just can't seem to stay off it, man. Yep. The homie's dapping up. Yep. Shout out to the Dome, man. UFC Vegas 77 fucking cracked me upside the dome. Lord have mercy. Let's talk about it, man. Domination, baby. Tell them. The carousel strikes again, dude. No matter how far you go, you always seem to come back at some point. Let's recap this shit. Let's talk about it. Good gosh almighty. 7-0, man. Shout out to my dude Mills, aka MMA Locker Room. Shout out to the boys at Pub Sports Radio. I want to thank Mills and Big Show and Billy for having me on the MMA Locker Room Talk podcast this past Thursday. My prophecies did not come to be. So yeah, we'll talk about that. Definitely talk about the main event. Oh yeah. Billy tried to tell all y'all tried to tell me about Silva. Everyone. I just don't listen. What if I am? And what if I am, Lobby? Maybe. Perhaps. I know, dude. I don't listen. Okay, fine. All right. Shout out to Aaron the dog. Subscribe to his channel. Tune out. What's up, dude? Yep, I was just getting to that. Shout out to my dude Aaron the dog MMA. Subscribe to that damn channel. Tune in Wednesday. He's back, boys. Back from outer space, back from vacay. Definitely looking forward to that stream Wednesday. Trying to get back on track here, dude. Yeah, y'all can check that podcast out on Spotify, Spreaker, and other places that you can listen to podcasts. Yeah, man. The fucking general, dude. Well, boys, let's talk about this damn event that happened. Don't do it. Look at that. Look at that shit. All those X's that you see, they all look good on the scales. So if you're waiting to see what those guys look like on the scales to bet them, didn't work out. Conversely, I thought all those guys looked like shit. Bueno Silva, Prado, Melsick, Azat, I thought they all looked a little sucked out. And they all won. Pretty convincingly. Well, except for one of them. So let's talk about it. Before I get into this, for anyone new, most of the people in the chat right now are OGs, regulars. But this is just for entertainment, boys. There are professional cappers in the chat right now that can give you way better gambling advice than I can. I'm just a fucking loudmouth. I like to crack jokes. I like to talk shit about the fights. And I like to put a few shillings here and there where my mouth is. But just for anyone new, all right, let's get into these fights. This one, I kind of wish I had bet on it because it was a pretty good line for Eileen Perez. I think she was like minus one something, like 160, 170 something. Grapple fucking of Ashley Evans Smith. I actually didn't watch this fight. This was I was still like, we had just come back from house sitting, and one of my wife's good friends was coming to visit us. Like, she visited this past weekend, so I was like running around getting shit for them, and missed. I think I was picking up dinner or something. I missed the first fight, but I'm kind of glad I missed it a little bit. Like, I went back and watched some of it, like watched the highlights. So yeah, it was like, yeah, awesome to see like Perez, thighs and booty cheeks everywhere. But like, yeah, that kind of went how I thought it was gonna go. And I'm a little like, not kicking myself, but like, man, I should have put a little something on Perez, because like I never for 1 second thought about betting Ashley Evans Smith. She's just an old fucking cam hoe, dude. I thought she retired or something. I don't know. Anyways, I don't really see what all the controversy was in this fight. I thought Alex Munoz, you can make an argument that he won every fucking round. Like, he dropped Deaton in every round. I saw some people saying that this was close. It's like, what? Okay. Like, Pretty obvious that Munoz was winning the fight. It's not like Deaton. It's not like it wasn't competitive at all, but it was just like he was clearly winning the rounds. So I don't know, man. Like, it's fucking Carl Deaton, dude. It's not too far away from like Shannon Ross territory where it's like, what are you even thinking about backing this guy? We back, baby. Y'all better fucking believe it, dude. The man is back. And I'm very excited to get down this Wednesday. Chelsea Chandler was yes, exactly. We were not sold a bill of goods. We were actually she's the princess we were promised. Perez free money. Yeah, what's up, homie Noah? Yeah, dude. I'm kind of kicking myself for that. You better believe it. Didn't miss much. Perez, I think, had more takedowns than Evans. Strikes. That is an awesome stat if that's true. Even if it's not, that's a very funny joke. Perez and Ribovic. Hey, dude. Yeah, isn't Prado fucking... Is he Argentinian too? Or is he Ecuadorian? I can't remember. Pretty sure he's South American, though. General taking about 4 or 5 notes. Deaton is just chinny as fuck. Disappointing you didn't finish him. Yeah, he is. Quite chinny. King of the draw, baby. The one and only. I've seen it happen. All right, so let's talk about this one. This is the fight that you see up on the screen there, the avatar. Look, I bet Tyson Nam. Watching the fight live, I was pretty sure they were going to give it to Azat Maxim. Nam's face was busted up. He got wobbled in the second round. That's what you see right there. That image right there is like Azat cracking him with a left hook and Nam kind of stumbling backwards. I thought that won Azat the second round. I thought Nam pretty clearly won the third. I don't think anyone's arguing that one. The first round is really what it comes down to. Watching it and having the bet on Nam, and I feel like I do this with some fights in general, which is why I like to go back and rewatch them, especially like close or like quote unquote controversial fights. I do like to go back and rewatch them with fresh eyes, like because usually if I have a bet on a dude, I'm kind of like watching to see what they're doing, and even if a dude even if his opponent like cracks him or something, I know he's okay. He'll get back. There's still a way he can win this. Like that's kind of like a little bit more. I'm kind of like hoping that the dude is winning a little bit when I'm watching it live. Obviously, like I just can't help it. But watching back, like I see why Azat got the victory. Like he was landing some stuff that I didn't see watching it the first time because I was more looking at what Tyson was doing. But I'm not like, oh my God, Tyson got fucking robbed. I thought it was close. Like you can make an argument that Nam won the first and third. He definitely won the third. But you can make an argument he won the first round. But I'm not like dying on that hill. I'm not crying robbery. I'm not like pissing and moaning about it. It is what it is. Like the bet didn't hit. I was pretty sure it wasn't going to when it got to the scorecards just because Nam was so busted up. I figured it would be a split, but I wasn't getting my hopes up. So it's like, was it the best bet in the world? No, but I'm also not kicking myself for it either. Like I can look at myself in the mirror and be like, you bet Tyson Nam. It's all right. It's all good. It happens. Didn't get it done. But I don't know, man. Like definitely maybe pump the brakes on Azat Maxim because that was a very close fight. Even if you think he won, he did not like separate himself that much from Tyson Nam. And Nam was coming on strong in the third. And usually like Nam, I don't know, man. I've seen him slow down before. So I didn't think that was a great look for Maxim. But yeah, it didn't work out. Didn't cash the bet. It happens. But of all the bets that I did make, that's the one I'm least ashamed of. I think that is spot fucking on. Nice, dude. What's up, Zach? Nice, man. Zach had a good weekend. The general dapping up. The boys. So, yeah, it is what it is. I can live with myself. It happened. Close fight. Pretty good fight. Maxim, I mean, Maxim's pretty young. He's like, what, 26 or something? Or am I thinking of somebody else? No, I'm thinking of Evan Elder. Isn't Maxim kind of young too, though? Isn't he like in his late 20s or something? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think maybe pump the brakes on him. Like, Nam is not, he's a high-end jobber. He's fought really good fighters before. So it's not like he's a bum or anything. It's just, don't push this guy too fast, man. You're having trouble with Tyson Nam. You're going to have a lot of trouble with the dudes ahead of him. But it's like, Nam isn't a total scrub either. So it's like, Maxim, it's like, okay, we got potentially something here. If he can work on some things, and like, you also have to take into account octagon jitters, first appearance. So all in all, it's like, I'm not too down on Azat, but I'm definitely not like, dude, people were fucking really blowing some smoke about Azat Maxim. It's like, I don't know about all that yet, Chief, but it is what it is. I'll eat the crow. Now this one, yeah, I mean, Elder won. What can I say? I wasn't able to get a great screenshot of this because I guess, I don't know what it was, but they weren't showing the replays in some of the fights. They were really breezing through the post-fight shit on some of the fights, and this was one of them. I don't know what it was. I don't know if they were. I don't see how. I mean, I guess because all the fights were going to decision. I don't fucking know, man. That must have been what it was, because it was like decision before that. So, long story short, normally I get these avatars. I even had to capture this one like mid-fight because they didn't have any slow-mo replays. But the slow-mo replays is where I can really get some good screen grabs and like make my avatars off that. But long story short, I was going to put one up for this, but I couldn't find a good one because it's like, if you take them while you're like watching the fight and just try and like screenshot it, it's kind of blurry. Anyways, Evan Elder gets the better of Genaro Valdez. I thought Elder looked good. Again, man, like, people are really high on Evan Elder. He almost got knocked out. Now, I went back and watched this one too. Watching it live, I thought he was in way more trouble than he actually was. He got knocked down a little bit worse than Valdez did, but it was kind of similar where he just got like sat on his butt. They were talking like he was like unconscious or something. Like, that's just not true. Like, it was a flash knockdown. I thought it was a little bit harder than the one that he dropped Valdez with. So I gave Valdez the second round, but I thought it was pretty clear that he lost the first and third. So he was getting hurt every round. This was one where it's like, I mean, I don't hate myself, but Valdez wasn't really a good bet. Like, he was older, kind of chinny. I don't know, man. Like, I'm still like not completely sold on Elder though. Like, people are really high on this dude. It's like, man, you almost getting fucking chin checked by Valdez. Like, there's some other dudes that are gonna turn your motherfucking lights out. So it's like, people are gonna ride the Evan Elder train till that bitch runs off the tracks. But I'm still kind of like, all right, we'll see. But I gotta eat the crow here. I was just wrong. Shouldn't have bet Valdez. Elder was a better fighter. Younger fighter, fresher, hits harder, whatever. I can live with it, though. So, yeah. Another swing and a miss. Whiffing. Fanning the place, boys. Just fanning. And this was strike 3. This was just a bad bet. Bad bet, wrong read, wrong side. This right here is pretty much just like indicative of how the entire fight went. Lingo just got the living fucking shit kicked out of him, literally. Body kicks, head kicks, leg kicks. He was one of those full-length heavy bags that you see in Muay Thai gyms, where you can throw low kicks, high kicks. Where he was just a full-length heavy bag. The ones that they'll put them on what is it on a God damn it. Why am I blanking on this word? On a track. They'll put him on a track and they'll like slide him out sometimes. Some gyms have it set up like that. Anyways, yeah, that's what he was like. Bad bet. Lingo was not the side. He just like he hit him a couple good times, but it like Costa was never in any real big trouble. He just kind of would have like reset and never was in any like real danger. Lingo is just not quite UFC level. Not that he's a shitty fighter. It's not like he's been totally blown out of the water. Like he'll have moments in all these fights, but and he'll win some of them against it's against the lowest level of UFC competition. Again, Melchizo Costa is just better than I thought. So I'm not trying to shit on Costa, but this one was more just like, nah, Lingo. Like I still have my questions about Costa because you like, again, this is Austin Lingo. Lost what 3 in a row now. I don't know, man. Good win for Costa though. I was just on the wrong side. Just got to eat crow. Just fucking wrong. I don't know. Yeah, that was the other thing. I forgot to mention that. I don't think he did it on purpose, but it's just like, goddamn, that's like the most convenient time to get one. I don't think he did it intentionally, but like, it definitely like you can't say it didn't help him. He was definitely still like trying to recover. You never know if Valdez would have been able to pounce on him or not. I'm not gonna like. I was pissed when it happened though. I'm not gonna lie because it's like I'm thinking I'm about to get the comeback, cash that Valdez ticket. He did drop Elder pretty good, rocking him like, and then he gets poked in the eye. And I mean, Elder definitely recovered after that. But people were still giving Elder. This is what I'm saying. People were still gave Elder the second round after that. It's like y'all just get your fucking mouth off Evan Elder's penis, man. It is crazy. Getting almost fucking slumped by Genaro Valdez. Like, all right, dude, there's some dudes that are gonna pull your fucking card for sure. So yeah, Evan Elder, like, good performance, and same with Costa. But it's like, all right, man, like you're beating Genaro Valdez and Austin Lingo. So yeah, I don't know, man. He kind of just got sat to his butt and then was like, okay, I don't know. Yeah, me too, man. Lingo's tough. I'm not saying this disrespectfully, but I really think Lingo could have some success in bare knuckle. That's what he does. Like, he boxes. That's all he does. He shells up, looks to counter strike, wants to put hands on you. Why just do? I feel like he would fit perfectly into bare knuckle boxing, dude. He's a tough guy that likes to fucking chuck bricks. Why not? Fuck it. Yeah, that's a good shout. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind seeing that. So yeah, strike 3, boys. Yeah. Okay. I think I have an avatar of this. I'm pretty sure I do. Maybe I don't. No, I think I scrapped it to make room for another one. Yeah, it was the y'all have seen it though. The dislocation of Estela Nunez's elbow from a low single leg. Kind of like a Baby Bondar situation. You know what I'm saying, though? Little Baby Bondarish. Kind of can't help but feel for her, though, man. She was screaming in pain. That elbow was fucking, that's a compound dislocation, dude. Well, maybe not compound because it didn't push through the skin, but like, that was fucking gnarly, dude. Full dislocation. Nectarish. But yeah, that's what happens. I mean, just cut Nunes, man. She's another one. It's like, she's a good striker, but that's all she can fucking do. That's all she's good for. Just go to fucking one Muay Thai or like K1 or fucking Glory or something, man. I don't know, dude. It's just she's 0-4 now or whatever. Yeah, it sucks, but it's like she fucking can't beat nobody hardly. It's just she's not fighting an incredibly high level competition either. It's just like she's fighting other prospects and shit and just getting beat on. I don't know. Anyways, felt good to just kind of get a read right. Unfortunately, I parlayed Melsick with a fighter that lost. So that was kind of the story of this weekend, but at least I got this one right. I was pretty confident that Melsick would get it done. But I can't yeah, I think that anyone that bet Tucker Lutz needs to be honest with himself that that was a bad bet. I'm being honest with myself. Lingo was a bad bet. Valdez was a pretty bad bet. Nam wasn't a bad bet at all, but like I made some bad bets this weekend. If you bet Tucker Lutz, that was a bad bet. Just eat the crow. You should have never bet Tucker Lutz. He was never the side. He's never like you just should have known. You just need to come to the conclusion that if you bet Tucker Lutz, you just don't like Melsick. Or Melsick burns you or something. Because you should have known Tucker Lutz was not the side. Should have known that. You were just trying to get cute and fade Melsick. I told y'all he was the way better striker. But I wish that I had parlayed. Dude, I'm kicking myself because originally my parlay was going to be Melsick and Jun Young Park. And I was a pussy, and I was like, I don't know, Durant is kind of like a bitch. And I fucking parlayed Melsick with Holly instead. That was me being arrogant and trying to get cute. But man, Melsick was always the side. Lutz is like, cut him. You just got to cut him. This was what this card was to me, like a roster clearing card, clearing up space for the new season of Dana White Contender Series. So I say cut Lutz, cut Lingo, cut Valdez, cut fucking, again, shout out to my dude Aaron the dog. He said this in the chat. Cut, who was it? Has this fight transpired yet? Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of a fight further up the card. But yeah, that was a just cut some of these guys, man. You need to make room for new prospects anyway. Like some of these guys, they just ain't gonna, like Lingo, Lutz, they ain't gonna end up doing nothing, man. But they're not completely worthless fighters. It's just like they could do more in like a different organization or like a different like combat sport. Like they have value as combat martial artists, just maybe not in the UFC. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to say it disrespectfully. I just, this kind of is what it is to me with those situations. Now, there's another one. I wish I had bet Nazim Sadikov because it actually won a bad line. And like, can we just say it? Like, McKinney's a hype job, dude. He's a flash in the pan. If he fights Frevola 10 times, he is not going to win. I don't know. Maybe he wins half of them. Maybe 2 or 3 of them. Maybe he chins Frevola a couple times. But, dude, I mean, look at Drew Dober, Matt Frevola, Terrence McKinney. There's another triangle for you. Triangle theory that, I don't know, man. Like, again, McKinney, not that he has no value as a mixed martial artist, not that he has no value as a combat athlete, but in the UFC, like, man, it's like he can only beat chinny guys that like to brawl. That just seems to be the only fight he can win. Because those are the guys he's beaten. For the most part. I mean, Faraz Ziam, that was a good win there. But again, he kind of exploited Ziam's grappling deficiencies. Ghost Pepper and Frevola, 2 guys that love to brawl, that aren't the most durable. So, I don't know, man. It's just McKinney, they're going to keep giving him fights, though. I don't think they're going to cut McKinney. I think they love the McKinney story. People love it. You guys know that it's getting to be a little bit like Blagoy, though. Did you guys know that Terrence McKinney died? Did y'all? I feel like that was just like the story of a year or two ago. It's just like kind of old news. He's kind of a flash in the pan a little bit. Again, not that he has no value. He's not a worthless mixed martial artist. It's just I don't know if he's quite UFC level. Like, where's his? I think he's hit his ceiling. That's what I'm trying to say. I think McKinney has bumped his head on the ceiling. Agree. Who? Which was a draw? Oh, McKinney, yeah. Chinny Overedge, he's a backpacker with 1 round of cardio who looks like PTSD on the feed. Yeah. Are you talking about the McKinney fight, boys? No, it's like McKinney. No, it can't be. Can't be. Got to be talking about Lutz and Melsick. Nah, dude, Melsick was whooping his fucking ass. That wasn't a fucking damn draw. Tucker got his ass beat. Win against McKinney, nice. Yeah, McKinney again. Like he can do some things in like Bellator, maybe fucking try PFL, try to win that million. I don't know. He's got a puncher's chance against some lightweights. I mean, he could knock out some of those Stevie Ray type dudes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. That just seems to be where he probably belongs. You're gonna have to keep giving him just like second chancers or like guys that Dana White like barely wanted to sign, kind of like, okay, like begrudgingly signs from Contender Series. I don't know, man. Now this one, I'm not trying to say that Ottman was going to win the fight. I'm not saying that Ottman was a good bet. I'm eating the crow. I was wrong. Prado looked like the better fighter. But let's also keep it real. Ottman Zaitar was at no point unconscious. I'm going to say I don't even know how badly he was hurt. Like, he got rocked by it. But this is literally what happened. You can see where the impact is. You can even see a mark on the back of his upper arm. He hit him with his upper arm and then tackled him. And then hit him with some ground and pound. I'm sorry, that was an early stoppage. I'm not saying Ottman was going to win the fight. I'm not saying I was on the right side. I'm eating the crow. I was wrong. I'm just saying I do think it was a little bit of an early stoppage. I think they're pushing Prado. Ottman was not nearly as hurt as everyone was trying to make it seem. And shout out to Brendan Fitzgerald for acknowledging, like, hey, I see what Ottman was saying. Like, he's literally like kicking the guy off. Like, Tanyani's telling him to fight back, and he literally like kicks Prado off of him. You see where Prado's strikes are landing? Not on his face. So I thought that was Tanyani, man. He's like, I can't remember. I think it was like a horrible 2021, a much improved 2022, and now he's back to his same like bullshit. But whatever. I'll eat crow. People were making it like Ottman was like sparked unconscious. Like, he rocked him with the back of his upper arm and then tackled him and then landed some ground and pound. That was an early stoppage to me. Fair enough. Yeah. Like, he was landing some ground and pound, but if you go back and look at it, like, no, he did look good. That's why I'm like, I'm eating the crow. Like, I'm not saying Ottoman was going to win. I'm not saying he wasn't the side. It was a bad bet. I'm just saying that was a little bit of a bad stoppage. And like, I'm sorry, that's what happened. That was not a clean knockdown. If you go back and watch it, he gets stunned with this soft part of the upper arm and then like tripped basically. I don't know. Anyways. Now, let's get to the shot that everyone is talking about. Let's talk about this. Who's the fucking Billy Badass now? I swear to God, man. It seems like almost all of these Diaz Academy UFC fighters end up being so fucking fugazi. They're such wannabe tough guys. They love like adopting the like double bird flipping. I'm so tough. I'll fight anyone at any time. I'll street fight anyone at a moment's notice. The streets ain't going to forget that one, dude. Nate and Nick Diaz. That's your girl. Tell her not to be scared next time, homie. Tell her not to be scared next time, homies. Because that's the kind of shit they push. That's the kind of shit the Diaz army pushes. That's the kind of shit the Diaz brothers push. I think it's like their shit is like a little bit fugazi. Let's just be real. Nick and Nate Diaz are jobbers. Like, neither one of them have ever fucking done anything in the UFC. The whole thing's just fugazi. And Nate Diaz is going to get knocked out by Jake Paul too, by the way. But yeah, who's the fucking tough guy now? I'll give her credit for taking it pretty well, but it's like, dude, you have no choice. Yeah, you damn right you realize you fucked up. Now, you should have realized you fucked up when you flipped Norma Dumont off and we're trying to act like a tough guy. And you can't strike worth a fuck. Same with, very similar to Nick Diaz, actually. Actually, no, I take that back. Very similar to Nick Diaz, because that's exactly what Nick Diaz did against Robbie Lawler. He fucking talked all that tough guy shit, and then he was talking about fighting Usman or something, and then he just like literally ran from Lawler and then quit like a punk. And that's what Chelsea Chandler did too. So I guess she's cut from the same cloth. Cool. Bunch of fake fucking tough guys. Dude, she's not that bad. People give her a really hard time for getting KO'd by Megan, but like, dude, I don't know, man. She really ain't that bad. It's hilarious, dude. All the edits and shit are really funny too. There's like a Chariots of Fire edit in slow motion. Dun, 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 dun. All right, moving right along. God, why did I? This was my original parlay. I had Melsick and Jun Young Park slammed together for plus money, and it would have hit. It would have fucking hit. Yeah, but I was too pussy, and I thought Derive was really live. I was telling everybody that this week that's why I kind of backed off Jun Young Park. Very foolish. Park was always the side. He's another guy that kind of like, he gets a tough time for losing to Rodriguez. When he was kind of winning that fight too, he just kind of fought stupid. I've had my concerns about Park's fight IQ and his willingness to like brawl sometimes when he doesn't need to, and just kind of not take it to like the aspect of the game where he's like stronger than his opponent. I've criticized him for that in the past, but he's a pretty decent fighter. He's pretty solid. He's pretty steady. He works at his boxing is really fucking steady. If you're not a good boxer and you don't move your head, like Jun Young Park is going to bust you up. He's got one of the better jabs in the division, one of the like more consistent jabs. I go on and on and on about the jab. It was busting Duraev up. It's what kind of like started the beginning of the end. Because he's steady with it. It's like a good low kick, dude. It's just annoying. It's always there. It throws you off. Just like the low kick can compromise your movement. The jab can compromise your cardio because it busts your nose up. And it can also end up compromising your durability because you end up starting breathing out of your mouth. You open your mouth up. You get hit with your mouth open, more chance of you getting hurt. More chance of you getting your jaw broke. And the more you're able to breathe through your nose, usually that's better for your oxygen processing. Like it's just kind of a known thing. You get busted up with the jab. You get your nose busted up with the jab. Starts leaking down the back of your throat. Can't breathe as well. It just fucks up your cardio. And like that's kind of what happened. Like Duraev was leaking really bad. He started out good and just kind of faded. And I thought he was live, but I mean, he looked good early. But man, Park is just a little bit better. A lot of people would like to try and fade Park. I'm a little bit higher on him than some people are, but still, like, I'm kind of kicking myself because, like, motherfucker, you knew he was the side. You knew no fucking Duraev was going to beat him. It's just like, just. So what I get for being a puss? Oh, I know, man. I know, dude. He flattened. You want to talk about somebody now? Now look, Duraev was more hurt than Ahmed Azaitar was. 100% Utah. He was 100% Utah, more hurt and closer. Like he ended up getting finished, but like he was more hurt by that strike than Ottman was by that quote unquote back elbow, back upper arm or whatever. I don't know. That was a bad stoppage. But yeah, Park fucked him up, dude. Good win for the Iron Turtle. Even better dance. So yeah, I wish I had wish I could get that fucking premium plan, dude. So I could have as many fucking avatars as I want to. Many avatars, as many banners as I want. They cut you off with the corniest shit on StreamYard. All right, dude. I went back and watched this fight. I'm not going to say that Basil Hafez straight up got robbed. But if you thought he won, dude, I can't really argue too much with you. For this reason. It wasn't just the grappling. Jack Della Maddalena has already kind of been exposed as having grappling deficiencies. We already kind of knew that. But I was a little bit more sketched out about him on the feet. When, especially in the first and second round, towards the end of the second round, it was pretty clear that like the short notice was affecting Hafez pretty badly, and he was really gassed. It had a lot to do with the body work of Della Maddalena too, but like, look, the third round, clearly Jack Della Maddalena could have probably been a 10-8, honestly. So again, I'm not like, Hafez got robbed, bro, and I'm never going to stop saying it. I'm just like, dude, I will say this, though, and I feel pretty confident saying this. Jack Della Maddalena got exposed. We're not going to do this shit where we reverse engineer everything and all of a sudden Basil Hafez is like, oh, I think we might got something here. No, he's a fucking jobber. He's a jobber that's lost to other jobbers, other no-name jobbers before. So no, that's not what's going to happen. Jack Della Maddalena got exposed as a little bit of a hype job. Again, not saying he can't win. Hey, sweetie. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm not saying he won't win more fights. I'm not saying he won't knock more people out. But, dude, he was getting hit clean. An uncomfortable amount in the pocket. Like, Hafez was landing on him and cracking him and, like, visibly snapping his head back. Jack Della Maddalena has been knocked out before. I don't know if y'all know that. Like, he's not some like undefeated, flawless, like, dude, Basil Hafez did that. Maddalena tried to like press him up against the cage several times, and he paid for it. So I don't know, man. Like, again, you can definitely make an argument that Jack Della won the second round, but it was a close round. He got controlled in that round. He got cracked in the face in that round, clean several times. So I don't know that he just like in the third round, he was obviously getting the better of the striking exchanges. But I don't know, man. Those striking exchanges in the first and second round were pretty fucking even, if we're being honest with ourselves. Especially when they would fucking start throwing at the head. Della Maddalena obviously was doing a little better body work. But man, dude, if he keeps brawling like that, throwing those like 10 punch combos, he's going to get knocked out. He just is. Basil Hafez, read my fucking avatar lips. Basil Hafez is a jobber. And Jack Della Maddalena got exposed, even in a win. Put it like that. Yeah, but like some of these things are like, it's starting to become a pattern with the grappling shit, honestly. Like, and people are just making all these kinds of excuses, dude. Like, I'm sorry, that's a fight IQ thing. The pulling Gilly over and over and over and over and over. So he obviously can't make adjustments mid-fight. He's going to have to train that out of himself, or his team is going to have to train that out of him. And he's still like young enough where it can happen, but he's going to have to work on that. If he wants to keep climbing the ranks, he's been knocked out before. He was getting hit clean by Basil Hafez. It's not a good look. And low key, if there was 20 more seconds left in the first round, Jack Della Maddalena is probably getting arm triangled. So yeah, he made, dude, it was short notice for Hafez too. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, Della Maddalena had to make all those weight cuts. I'm not saying that didn't affect him. I'm not saying that. But look, Basil Hafez is a jobber, period. And he took that on incredibly short notice. And he had way worse of a weight cut than Jack Della Maddalena did. And he still made it fucking close. So yeah, Jack Della Maddalena, a little bit of a hype job. I think that's fair to say. Yeah, I'm fine with saying that Della squeaked by. But that's not a good look, man. Hafez is a jabroni. Yeah, it's not a bad fight. Yeah, exactly. Like, now Brady, if they're on the feet, like Della will knock Brady out. I'm very confident of that. But dude, if Brady's getting takedowns, he's gonna choke Della. Like Della Maddalena, I feel very comfortable with saying he's gonna end up losing in devastating fashion. He's gonna get knocked out or he's gonna get choked. It's gonna happen, dude. It just is. He seems like a stubborn guy. I'm just saying, it seems like he goes in there, he's tough, he hits really hard, he's got good boxing, and I'm going to go in there, bite down on my mouthpiece, and brawl. I'm going to be the better striker and win. That just seems like that's how he fights. And I'm just seeing like red flag after red flag after red flag. Doesn't know when to defend a takedown instead of pulling Gilly. Doesn't like move his head in the pocket after he's already been knocked out. So he's not working on his striking defense, even after he's been stopped. He's not working on his takedown defense. He's not working on his fucking fight IQ. It's like he's gonna have, like, not saying he can't do it because he's young, but like he's gonna have to start working on that shit. I think people are overhyping the dude just a little bit. He's beaten Pete Rodriguez, Ramazan Ameev, Danny Roberts, and Randy Brown. Maybe fucking relax a little bit. Maybe chill on Jack Della Maddalena just a little bit because he got taken to the brink by a fucking jobber. Period. Again. Yeah, stupid. Arrogant. He's just a cocky guy. He comes off as a very cocky guy. Cockstrong, stubborn. He's going to do it his way. I think it's going to cost him in the future. All right. Let's get to it. Let's get to the biggest piece of crow that I have to choke down. Leo clapping gif. Shout out Billy Briz. And Mills, hold up. Mills, weren't you on Holly? Didn't you tell me on Thursday that you went back and rewatched that and then you were on Holly Holm? So I'm just remembering that now. Shout out to Billy Briz. First of all, shout out to Myra Bueno Silva, but I got to eat the crow on this one, man. Me and Billy got into a very spirited debate last Thursday on the MMA Locker Room Talk podcast. Check that out. He was on Myra Bueno Silva. He tried to tell me. A lot of people try to tell me. And shout out to Big Show Picks as well. His words have been echoing in my head for days. Don't bet main events, brother. Fuck! Hey, what can I say, dude? Stubborn. Being stubborn, being arrogant, getting cocky about Holly Holm. Levels, bro. It's a levels fight, bro. Yeah, I just had a bad read here. Bad read, bad bet. What was I thinking? 41-year-old chick. It's WMMA. I was just asking for it, dude. So shout out to Billy, shout out to Big Show, shout out to Mills for having me on the podcast again. And yeah, didn't go my way there. Shout out to Myra Bueno Silva. That was a damn good win. Because I'd asked Billy, I was like, who's her best win? Well, now it's Holly Holm. Holly definitely looked 41, but that's what you get for betting a 41-year-old. Yeah, she ninja choked her. The ninja choke is a sick front choke, dude. Seems to be a great choke for long-armed fighters. Great way to fend off takedowns. Threaten with that fucking ninja choke. Look at that shit. Crazy good win. Statement win. Might have made me a damn Myra Bueno Silva fan. Look at that shit, dude. That's where the tap happened, pretty much. You can't really see her hand, but nice. Yeah. I agree. She's 41. What are you doing? A little cherry on top. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I had a real good weekend last weekend. This was not my week. The weekend before, I mean. This past weekend was not my night. I don't know what was going on with Tapology. They didn't have the Munoz and Carl Deaton fight on the app at all, or the website. So it was really 8-5. But because Tapology didn't have that fight listed for some reason, it shows 7-5. So I have the correct Tapology record up there. We held serve at 62%. Need to keep improving upon that. Get back. The highest I've ever been is 64.3. Was cruising towards 65 and then just hit a rough patch in 2023. But it is what it is, man. Betting results. No Myra Bueno Silva. No Bueno Silva there. Yay, I'm back in the hole again. But you know what? Down less than a unit, I know I can get it back. I've done it before. So that pretty much does it for UFC Vegas 77. It was a nightmare. It was a shitty card on paper and in actuality, and I'm glad that it's over. And I'm now going to move on with my life. So thank you all for being here. I am going to come back after a brief intermission, and we're going to preview UFC London. I have looked at the fights. I have made my lines. I've looked at the bookies' lines, and I just don't know what to do right now. So I'm going to talk about it when I get back. Would love to know how y'all are feeling about this card. Let me know if y'all made any bets and how you're feeling about some of the fights, which fights you want to talk about. And let me know after I return. Shout out to the 7 people in the building, man. Can we get 10 people in this motherfucker, dude? It's been a little bit since we had 10. It's been almost 2 weeks since we had 10 people in here, boys. Can we make it happen? We'll see. Come back at about the hour mark. Something like it. All right, here we go. All right, boys. Back in action, man. Shout out to the 6 people still hanging tough, man. Can you get a hot tub? Not if I have anything to do with it. Looking into in Monster Inoue by decision plus 240. Well, I'll tell you what, Lobby. Took a little stab on Stephen Fulton. It's in a greasy long shot parlay. I'm not going to make a straight bet on Stephen Fulton, but I put him in like a long shot 6-legger. It's like Fulton, Spence, AJ, Jake Paul, and somebody else. Who else is on that fucking shit? Who else is that? Let's see. It's like, it's a long shot, and I bet like less than $1 on it. There was like some change left over in my account, like 62 cents or something. I think I threw it on that shit just for fun. I bet for fun and for clout, boys. But yeah, got UFC London coming up. I made my lines this morning, and I went and looked at the bookie lines. And dude, this card just feels greasy, man. There were so many fights where I like there were so many fights where I either lined it pretty close to how the bookies had it, or it's like, no, I think this should be wider. There weren't too many lines where I saw where it was like, nah, I think I wrote down wide on like 2 or 3 lines after seeing how the bookies had it. It's just, there were more lines where it's like, this is a little bit better of a line on this favorite than I think it may. Like, I feel like this line should be wider for this favorite. I have that written down on like 8 fights. So yeah, let me look at this real quick. Okay, yeah. Lobby, the parlay is a 1, 2, 3, 5-legger. It's Fulton, Spence, Paul, AJ, and Beterbiev. And Fulton will probably be the one that busts it. But I will be betting on Errol Spence. You can bet your ass on that. Spence is still an underdog. I'm gonna bet that for sure. For sure, dude. Spence is an underdog. Are you fucking kidding me? When are you ever gonna get Errol Spence as an underdog? Unless he's fighting like a fight that'll probably never happen. Like, unless he fights like fucking Canelo or something. You know what I'm saying? You're never gonna get Spence as an underdog. So yeah. I don't know, man. Maybe I did take Fulton off of it because I think that 4-legger is good. I think AJ, Jake Paul, and Beterbiev all get it done pretty convincingly. And then I think Fulton's live. I mean, Monster's really good, man. He just, I don't know, dude. Most of the guys he fights are just these little bitty tiny guys, and he just, I don't know. Fulton's one of the better fighters he's fought, I think. Who's still like, some of the guys he's fought, like they're kind of past it too. I don't know, man. Inoue's good. Inoue's good. He is. Monster is the shit, but I think Fulton's live. I'm not saying he wins, but for fucking 62 cents, yes, have a little fun on it. Dude, Bud is with PBC now. He signed a contract with PBC. Anyways, alrighty, let's talk about UFC London. We're still in intermission, so I'm not technically not clickbaiting anyone. We are going to preview UFC London. Just doing a little boxing banter with Lobby. He always draws me into that shit. That's fine. We can talk some boxing on the back end here, but let's talk a little UFC London, man. Coming up this weekend at the O2 in Southtown, London. They live by the river or something. Yeah, it's going down. There's a shit ton of British fighters on this card. I think there is a UK fighter, maybe not all from England, but there is a UK fighter on just about every fucking fight. Either Scotland or Ireland. I can't remember if Ireland's part of the UK or not. I can never remember that shit. It's right there. It's damn right across the fucking whatever the fuck that sea is. Some fucking sea. There's a damn sea. You go from England to Ireland. It's right there. Shit. No, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's very, very UK heavy. Greasy too, man. I did really well fading Mexico last time. I nailed the one Mexican fighter that won and I faded the rest. It worked out. I don't know about fading too many Brits. If there's one thing I know. Not always. I remember the last London card, there were some British fighters that lost on the scorecards. So I'm not totally like, if it goes to the cards, every British fighter is going to win, bro. Like, I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I don't know, man. I don't know how interested I am in getting out in front of a lot of British fighters. I don't know how much action I'm going to have on this card, period. Seems like a lot of trap spots. It seems like a lot of spots where they're like, ooh, this is a nice juicy line on this favorite. You should probably just parlay them kind of shit. That's just kind of how it feels to me. We'll go through the prelims. I'll tell you how I have it lined. Dude, my lines that I set were surprisingly close to some of the bookies on a lot of fights. And then some of them were like, should be a little wider for this person. So I don't know, dude. This is kind of a strange card, at least for me, trying to digest it from a betting perspective and find spots. Like I know there's some spots here, but it's just they haven't like. There's only like one or two that are kind of like really standing out to me. Is what I'm trying to say. Moonies, Jai. So we can at least talk about the prelims. I'm going to talk about all these fights when I guest appear Wednesday on Aaron the Dog MMA's UFC breakdown show. Subscribe to my dude's channel. Zach's best friend. Aaron the Dog MMA. He's back Wednesday. I'm lucky enough to be there talking about this fight card. I hope y'all can join Aaron and myself on Wednesday. Your best friend, bro. I just said it. I literally just said it, Zach. Okay. Let's go from the very first fight on the prelims to the headliner. Let's do that. Plug this in. My phone's about to fucking die. Coach, you go dying on me. Okay, let's look at some of these jobber lines. Let's look at some of these peasant lines. No, you're just being bashful. You just being bashful. Um, let's look at some of these little piker lines, dude. All right, here we go. Here we damn go. You want to talk about some shit, Zach? You want to talk about some fucking gambling shit, Zach? You want to fucking get greasy, bro? Okay. These are my lines for UFC London. This is, I've been doing this for 4 weeks now. And I've gone 3-1 with I've had three using this, set my own lines, and then look at the bookies' lines and look for spots that are off. I've done that for 4 weeks now. It's worked 3 weeks. It did not work last week, but I'm not going to totally abandon it either. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to force anything. If a line looks off, either way, if it's like should be wider, if it should be closer, if it's just off, I'm going to look at it. Now, what I'm going to tweak a little bit this week, and what I didn't do last week, is I just kind of made the bets blind. I was really like I was just betting the number and not like completely dismissing who the fighter was, but that's one thing I'm going to kind of like. It's not like, I know people say, oh, it's just bet the number. We're not betting fighters here. We're betting numbers. It's like, I don't know, man. I think it feels like it kind of has to be a combination of both. Because, like, look at the week before. Yes, I was betting the number, but like, if you're just blind betting underdogs all the time, like, a lot of them aren't going to hit. I know, long term, I know, but like, dude, and I wasn't betting a lot of underdogs those previous 3 weeks. It was like one or two here and there. And I was going pretty light. So yeah, I'm not going to bet quite as many underdogs this week. And I'm going to try and bet on better fighters. That's another thing. It's like, yeah, it's a nice big number, but it's like, is the guy I'm betting on really good enough to fucking make that shit like valuable? I don't know. That's just some things I'm trying to think about this week, trying to avoid some of the same mistakes. And I'm also going to smoke some more weed right now. I know you don't like smoking weed, Zach. If you need to mute the stream, feel free to do so now. Because I'm about to fucking get stoned, dude. It's cool, dude. Zach doesn't burn. He doesn't burn. I try and get him to, but he doesn't burn. Excuse me, little old lady. While old and dangerous behind the wheel, can still serve a purpose. Yeah. Word up. We damn right he's busy. Dude, if you ain't smoking jerky, you can't be no damn jerky guy. And that's what Zach is. So pretty sure that's what he's doing. That's what he does, Lobby. I bet it tastes good too. I've never tasted it myself. I need to go ahead and get a bag, but I'm willing to bet that it tastes pretty good. What are we doing, dude? I'm just smoking, getting geared up for this fucking, get it, dude, gear, because gear is like a slang term for weed in the UK. I'm just getting geared up here. Dude, we the wife and I watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3 last night, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was entertaining. It was like 20 minutes too long, but it was good. There was some random shit like, why is this a subplot? But the core of the story was good. The action scenes towards the end were good. I thought they ended it pretty strong. I liked it. Overall, I was like, give it a solid like 7.5. You know, enjoyable. Usually the third installment of something, you're not really getting like the best work. But like for the third in a trilogy, it was pretty good. Pretty good. All right, UFC London. Sorry, I was just feeling spacey for a second. UFC. Okay, my lines. And then I'm going to pull up the bookie lines. Best fight odds. Best damn old fight odds. Let's take a gander, gentlemen. Shall we? Sec. That's sec. All right. UFC London. My lines for UFC London, England. You know, fish and chips, cup o' tea, bad food, worst weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London. That's where we're going, boys. Like Cousin Abby says, what's the first fight on this card? What is it? You tell me. You tell me. What the fuck is it? I think it's Filho versus Barres. I don't know if you roll the R on that, but I just did it. I don't know if it felt right. Okay, Filho. This is how I lined it. I didn't look at the bookies lines first. I did my amateur piker lines. But it has helped, man. It helped me get back in the green. I just lost it all again because I'm a dumbass, but hey, tweak a few things here. I'm not totally abandoning my little method or model or what. It's not even a model. It's just this little tool I've been using. Like I said, I don't know if these would even be like realistic lines. Like if you would line someone a minus 150, what would the equivalent be on the other side kind of shit. Like, I don't know exactly what it would be, but I feel like this is pretty close. So this first one, and this is me with no like previous bookie, any kind of thing experience, not really knowing how to set lines, just in my head, who do I think should be favored? Should they be like a slight favorite, a moderate favorite, a huge favorite? That's kind of my process with this. And I'm really just like, without doing too much tape study, just wiki capping and going off previous knowledge and memory. That is the formula. With that, I made Filho a slight favorite and Barres a slight underdog. The bookies have that one at pretty much a pick 'em. Like Barres is an ever so slight underdog on Caesars, but like I've been using Bet MGM. Philo's like minus 115. I feel like it maybe could be a little bit wider for Philo. Maybe parlay that. Maybe. But that's just kind of my early lean. or my initial like gut reaction without doing too much tape study. And that's one thing I'm going to do this week. With the last pay-per-view, I was really familiar with a lot of those fighters, especially the fighters on the main card. Like everyone that I bet, I was pretty fucking familiar with. With some of these, like I said, this is just without doing too much research or tape. My opinion in the line, how I have it lined, could change after tape study. But this is just the early initial reactions. That's that fight. But I don't really like, I'm not going to feel too strongly about it until I tape study this shit. You goddamn right. I'm going to take your face into account when I talk about your butt. Are you taking home region into account with judges for the lines? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Trying to anyway. But I don't think either one of those guys is, you know what I mean? But that's the thing, Lobby, is like I'm trying to not do it how I think the bookies are going to do it, but just in my, because I don't feel like that serves me any purpose. Like if I'm like, oh, how do I think the bookies are going to line this one? Even if I think that's how they're going to line it, if I don't think it should be lined that way personally, it does me no good. So I'm trying not to like think objectively like, oh, how should this be lined by, you know, how would most of humanity line this? Like, how would I line it? That's kind of what I'm trying to do. Oh my God, you are fucking riding me about this thing. No, I haven't. I probably need to, but I haven't. I'll check it out. Yeah. Bairez and Joel Alvarez all Spaniard parlay. I don't know. I'll bake everything into your own butt. The British crowd could sway the judges. I agree, but dude, if you look at the last London card, there were some fucking British fighters that did not win on the cards. So I'm not trying to like lean too heavily into the narrative. I think it would be foolish to totally discount it, but I'm not like, I don't know, Lobby. Just give me the fucking answers, dude. Just tell me who's going to win these goddamn fights. I'm going to bet them. All right? Use your inside knowledge. Use your fucking Kraus whispering. Get close to James. Find out who's going to win. Send me the shit. We'll get rich. All right? How about that? Until then, I'm just going to keep smoking weed and being stubborn and probably yo-yoing back and forth between positive and negative for the rest of 2023. This kind of feels like that kind of year. But whatever. No, that is not going to be the mentality. I'm going to get back to the green and stay in the green. Enough of this Christmas shit. Red, green, colorblind bullshit. No. No more of that. We're going to get green and stay green. By God. All right, next fight. One damn fight for one damn prop. But I agree with you that the British crowd could sway the judges. Bruna Brasil. Saison. What's the next fight, dude? Bruna Brasil versus Shauna Bannon. This is how I had it lined. Damn it. Oh, God damn it. Don't do that. All right. Brasil. I made... Now, dude, look. I know Bruna Brasil just got chin-checked in her last fight against Denise. But some of the same people that are going to fade Brasil are the same ones that were sucking Yasmin Haragi's taint and mugging off Denise Gomes. I know it. I can feel it. down to my plums. They're getting a nice bluish hue. I know those are some of the same people because they're going to try and get it back vicariously through this fight. You know, vicariously try and fade Gomes again. Like, oh, this chick lost to Gomes. She's definitely going to, low CI. Some of the same shit. It's going to be some of the same shit. In my mind, in my head, B, this is how I had this fight. I had it a pick'em. With Brazil coming off the KO loss and with Bannon having fought absolutely motherfucking nobody and only having 6 fights, period. I don't know what the fuck I'm getting out of her kind of deal. Yeah, so I have this kind of a pick'em. Maybe I'm a little off on that. Maybe the bookies have the line right. You know what I mean? I'm leaning towards Brazil. Because but I need to tape this. I'm not gonna blind if I end up playing Brazil, it'll be after I tape it. I just don't know if like she really packs a punch like Denise Gomes. You know what I'm saying? Look what Denise Gomes just did to Hargi, who everyone was sucking her fucking box, dude. Not everyone, but a lot of people were. I don't know, man. I do kind of. I'm kind of leaning Brazil. Maybe, but like, it maybe could be a little closer. But maybe I'm giving Dobson or I keep wanting to say Shannon Dobson, Shauna Bannon. I just don't know anything about her. I got to tape it, so that's why I wanted to pick them. Maybe I was kind of baking some of the like perceived what could be some UK bias into this line, where like if it's close, they could give it to the Irish chick. They love pushing the new Irish toy, the shiny new Irish toy. Woo! They love that shit, man. So it's low level women's MMA. I've been having some success with WMMA lately. I just have been. It's just a fact. But I'm leaning Brazil, but I'm a little pooswagy right now. I'm a little poosified right now about wanting to parlay her. But it will be probably Brazil or pass there for me. Maybe could change. Just gotta tape it, and I won't know till then. But that's just my initial gut check or initial gut reaction read, whatever the fuck. Well, that don't really help now, does it? What the fuck is that going to do for me, Lobby? God damn it. Bannon girl just seems like a hype job. It's fine. Nobody. I mean, some of y'all keeping up with WMMA way too much, dog. You're not keeping up with it enough, doggy. Home doggy. I watch Invicta. Bannon didn't stick out. I got Brazil. Hey, dude. Lobby on Brazil. I don't know, man. WMA good for dogs and fading old women, indeed. Bannon beat Bruce Sander off a 2.5-year layoff. General taking about 4 or 5 notes. I'm going to take about 4 or 5 tokes. Let me cash this bitch out. Hold on, pop another one. Now, let's move on to the next fight. Shout out to the 5 people in the building. You know what, dude? We haven't gotten 10 in here, but I've appreciated the interactions. It's been a nice, lively chat. I've been in a decent mood today, so this hasn't been a bad stream so far, boys. Been keeping it nice and tight. Haven't been droning on too long about useless bullshit. Pretty much keeping it on topic. So Shout out to you guys, man. I appreciate the feedback and the banter. All right, that didn't work. There we go. Ooh, still a chunk in there, dude. Still green at the bottom of that thing, boys. Holy shit. That ain't brown. That's some damn green at the bottom of that shit. That would have been dude, if I had blown that out into the bag, that would have been a waste. If I'd seen the green just at the bottom of that nasty fucking ash coated resin fucking Ziploc bag, I would have been a little upset. Do you even smoke, Lobby? I know Zach doesn't burn. Do you even smoke weed, dude? Grusander, a former atomweight. Yeah, Brucille is a big chick. I'm definitely leaning her, man. And I don't like. I would like it if it was a pick 'em even more, but even that is not -150. That's not bad. That's -150 is like a parlay piece. If you like that fighter, that line is pretty. That's pretty fucking ideal. Obviously, you want like someone you consider a favorite to be like even money, but that's good if you like Brazil to me. Now this next one, I'm pretty sure I had this one pretty close. Like my line ended up being kind of close to the bookies' lines. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know whether that means like I should be playing it or not playing it or what. I'm thinking out loud. Now, where the fuck? Here we are. The next fight is Chris Duncan versus Yanal Ashmouz. I have a feeling that a little bit of recency bias is being baked into this line. And I would be lying to you. I think that's how you spell Ashmouz. If it's not, my sincerest apologies. I think this line should be a little bit wider for Chris Duncan. Sam Patterson is kind of like a completely kind of like unproven dude. It's not like Duncan has fought like the cream of the crop, but I feel like he's a little bit more experienced. He's pretty tough. I don't see Ashmouz just fucking shadow realming him like he did Patterson. I don't know, man. I feel like Duncan is a little more dogged than that. I feel like he's a little bit more durable. I feel like Duncan is the side here, and like he's sitting for me at BetMGM. He's sitting at -135. So like I'm might be looking at Duncan as a parlay piece. Now, yes, it's risky. Ashmouz hits hard, but I don't know, man. I feel like it could be a little bit wider for Duncan. Maybe I'm off on that, but that's just kind of my initial lean. Dude, don't be blowing up my spot about the spice that I smoke. Don't be blowing up my fucking synthetic weed spot, dude. It's fucking tacky, man. Uncouthful. A little cyberbullish, to be honest with you. I thought you'd change your ways. I guess not. Dude, aren't they sick? Aren't they dude, I love the King Palms, man. They're great. They're less harsh than blunts. You just stuff them like easy to pack. They have a filter, smooth smoke. If you pack them right, they burn fine. They don't really run that bad. It's like I really like King Palms for blunts. Yeah, dude, that's my style on streams. Yeah, I'm gonna pack my little fucking. It's like a 3-hit chill. It's pretty sick. Oh, I don't hate Jewish people though. I love Jewish people. No, I don't. I don't like the idea of fading Yanal Ashmuz. I'm not gonna like it Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? My buddy Aaron the Dog MMA is Jewish. I know he's not gonna be happy about it, but that's just how I feel. We'll see though. I'm not. The thing is, like, people were kind of really down on Ashmuz, and I had been kind of down on Chris Duncan. I think that's what it is. I what happened with the Patterson fight was I listened. I let too many other people influence me on that one. Like, Ashmuz was way more live there than people were making it seem like. But I feel like Duncan is a little bit better than Patterson, a little bit more durable, and he hits pretty fucking hard. So I feel like he's going to be tested in the striking more than he would have been with Patterson. Although Patterson's a good offensive striker, like, he's got the tall man defense, doesn't move his head that much. So yeah, I don't know, man. And this is one where it's like, if it's close, I feel like, it could go to Duncan. So that's just kind of how I feel on that one. But yeah, like, if you're on the other side, if you're on Ashmuz, like, yeah, I feel like it can maybe be like, I don't know. I don't know about that one. This next fight, it doesn't really matter because I'm not fucking touching it. I want absolute read my fucking avatar soundbar expanding thing. Read it. I will not be betting Ketlin Vieira versus Pannie Kianzad. It's going to be greasy. I think it's going to decision. I think it's going to split decision. And I want not a thing to do with the outcome of that fight. I don't want to sweat it. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to. This fight is going to be close and greasy, and it's going to split, and half of MMA Twitter is going to be pissing and moaning, and it ain't going to be me. I'm just going to be sitting back and watching it and be high and hopefully be winning other bets or losing other bets, but it's not going to be this one. I'm going to lose my money elsewhere. I'm going to lose it betting on something else, but I want nothing to do with this fight because it's too close. It's how it sounds in my head, B. It's too close. I don't know what to fucking do with it. I do have Vieira as a favorite. Kianzad. I think a little bit higher of Pannie Kianzad than some people do. And I fade Ketlin Vieira a little bit more than some people do. Even so, I line Vieira as a minus 200 favorite. Now, maybe that's a little bit wide, but looking at how the line is set right now, it's not really that far off. Like, fucking Bet Rivers has Ketlin at minus 200 and Kianzad at plus 148. That's pretty much the line I have. Unibet has the same thing. Bet 365, or no, I'm looking at the wrong fight. Sorry. Yeah, Unibet has the same thing. The best line you can get Ketlin Vieira on is Caesars at minus 160. I have this fight line pretty close to how the bookies have it. Thus and so, nope. Next one for me. Next fight. I'm just not going to do it. I think Ketlin Vieira probably wins this fight. I'm probably going to end up picking Ketlin Vieira, but betting, no thanks. It's going to be a sweat. It's going to be a 15-minute striking match, and you're going to hear the commentators being, "Oh, this is a really close fight, though. Whoever does something big at the last 30, you're going to hear that like 3 fucking times for each round." Nope. No, thank you. I'll lose my little shit elsewhere. He surprised me too, but I also think a little bit more of Chris Duncan than I do of Sam Patterson. I'll just say that. But I don't blame you. I don't blame you for not betting Duncan. I might not end up betting Duncan. I'm just thinking about him as maybe a parlay piece. But I feel you. Oh yeah, this one? Fuck yeah, dude. Vieira and Panny. It just has split written all over it, and I don't feel like sweating that one. Let's see. Both of them always seem to fight kind of like to the level of their opponent, and I feel like they're both like the same age. It's just gonna be like a mirror match, and it's just gonna be people are gonna be disappointed, and I don't want to be involved in that. But I am leaning towards Kellen Vieira to get it done. Now this one. This line is wide, but I don't know if I'm gonna touch it. This is one where I feel like Muradov is being maybe Barbarina is being disrespected a little bit, but this is the kind of fight where I could see this fight happening and then people being like remembering like, oh yeah, Brian Barberina got knocked out by Randy Brown. Oh yeah, now I remember that. I feel like if they're standing, Murdoch can knock Barberina out. But Bam Bam is the kind of fighter that like if you don't get him out of there, he can kind of break you. And Murdoch has been broken before. Thus and so, I'm saying that to say this. I think this line is wide, but I'm probably not going to touch it. This is probably being a little generous to Barberina. I'm a little bit higher on Bam Bam than some people are too. This was my line. God damn it. This is my line. It should probably be wider. It is wider. I just don't want to touch it, man. It's Bam Bam or pass, and I'm probably just going to pass. Like Murdoch probably knocks him out. But if it gets extended, man, Murdoch doesn't have a very good gas tank. That's kind of been exposed before. Bam Bam doesn't like. I don't know, man. He's tough. He can look good against like pretty good competition. Like this, like he was close to winning that Luque fight, but then he gets knocked out by Randy Brown. So it's like, and then he knocks out Robbie Lawler, but he looked okay in that fight. Like he was kind of getting lit up by Lawler. If he's getting lit up like that by Murdoch, like Murdoch's a good boxer. If he's boxing with Murdoch, he's probably gonna get knocked out. I'm just gonna say that. And you're probably gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember when Randy Brown knocked him out. I feel like it's kind of be one of those. Like I don't like that line on Murdoch. I think it's Barberina or pass, and I will be passing. I might look at the Murdoch by KO or fight ends in KO, but if I do that, they'll probably just stare at each other. Murdoch will hurt him. Barberina will land more strikes, and it'll just be a fucking greasy split if I bet the KO. But that's what it would be for me, and I'll probably just end up passing. It's a little bit disrespectful to Bam Bam, but he's not the youngest dude. His durability is not what it used to be. I'll just say that. Like Lawler was like, I don't know, man. I just don't know. I'm going to be picking Murdoch, but I don't really want to bet that. I'm not like, I had to pump the brakes with Murdoch, man. He's just, and Bam Bam moving up to middleweight. I don't know, dude. I think Murdoch's probably going to knock him out, but the KO will probably be like, it'll be like minus 175 or something. So it's just like, why even bother? For me. That's what I say to myself. Moving right along. Next fight is Jamal Pogues and Mick Parkin. The British Mick Parkin. Debuting UFC fighter, I believe. Pogues. I do have Pogues as the favorite. I set Pogues at minus 175. And I set the debuting untested Parkin at plus 125. It's pretty close. That's pretty close to what it is. I'm telling you, there's a lot. This is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 fights on this card where I have it pretty close to how the bookies do, without looking at them first. Pogues is anywhere, now they have it a little bit closer. Pogues is anywhere from minus 160 to minus 150. Betway is the best line you can get up. Pogues is at minus 150. I'm going to have to pay minus 160. I do favor Pogues. He opened at minus 250. I think that's a little bit wide. This line is way closer to how I think it should be. I understand why money came in on Parkin at that line. Like if Parkin is opening up at like almost plus 200, I don't hate the shot on that. Like Pogues is not that high level. Parkin seems to be pretty heavy-handed, but he's fucking fought nobody, dude. There are some fucking cans on his record. It's not like Pogues has been fighting the cream of the crop, man, but I do favor him. I feel like he's a little bit more well-rounded. I feel like he can get it done. I feel like Parkin is like KO or bust. It's not a high level of fight, and it's heavyweight, so it's like could happen for sure. So I don't know, man. I feel like Pogues is the side, but the line now is kind of how I thought it should be set. So like the market adjusted. I don't know what that means. Now it seems like if it gets any tighter, it's like, maybe I'm looking at Pogues as a parlay piece. I don't know, boys. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm not really interested in getting a Parkin. He might win, but it's like plus 120. I don't know, dude. The guy ain't never debut. Like, it's not like Pogues is some fucking world beater, but he's just been fighting. What do they call him over there? He's been fighting lorry drivers and shit. Anyways, that's just kind of how I feel about that. I feel like it's not right now. It's not too bad for like if it gets, especially if Pogues gets to like minus 150, I might throw him in a parlay. I just feel like he's the better overall fighter. Next fight, though. Next fight. We're making pretty good time, boys. I'm just about done with the prelims, and that'll be the show. That'll be the show. I'll talk a little bit about the main event in general and the main card in general, but as far as the lines and shit, you don't have to wait till Wednesday. And tune in to Aaron the Dog MMA and subscribe to that channel right now. Next fight. Another window. UFC schedule. See how close we are to the main card. God damn it. I'm not typing I. Stop putting that in. I'll type the fucking U. Okay, 3 more fights. Coco for the prelims. Prelim Coco. Joel Alvarez versus Mark Giacchese. This was another fight where pretty close to how the bookies had it. But this one, like this. I like Joe Alvarez here. I think Joel Alvarez wins, but I would be lying if I said that I'm a little bit worried. This is one where I'm kind of worried about the bias, although I'm pretty sure Giacchese lost to MJ in London on the cards, but it's not like that fight was very controversial either. Let me see. Mark Giacchese. No, I'm sorry. That was Florida. That was Orlando, Florida. He beat Demir pretty clean. He wrestle fucked Demir. I'm a little worried about that too. If Alvarez plays jiu-jitsu too much and like he's dangerous, like, but if Giacchese turns into D1 Giacchese, he could grind out a greasy one. I don't know, man. I've never been super high on Mark Giacchese. I just haven't. Like, yeah, he has some losses to some pretty good fighters, and then he has some losses to some kind of like none of his wins are like Slava Claus, yeah, is a pretty good win. Demir Hazovich is decent, but like Lando, Joe Duffy, Timu Packlin, like, so Giacchese has just always been kind of a weird fighter. Like, this is a winnable fight for him. And I'm not as high on Joe Alvarez as some people are. I think Joe Alvarez is another kind of like bit of a hype job. Like, people were kind of hyping him up a little bit too much, maybe. And he's not like him and Giacchese I think are both kind of like guys that got a little bit overhyped. Although I will say, like, Alvarez's losses are to Demir and Sarukian. So that's not too bad. He finishes everybody else. I kind of feel like he finds a finish over Giacchese, but he is a tough guy to finish. So I'm worried that if it goes to the cards, they're going to fuck him. So it's kind of sketching me out, man. Like, I feel like Alvarez is the side. I feel like it's a pretty decent line. I feel like it could be like, what is it? What did I say here? Alvarez minus 150, and I have Giacchese at plus 115. So that's pretty close to how the bookies have it, man. So I don't know. I just don't know. I lean Joel Alvarez though. The actual line is, for me to bet it, I would be betting it at Joel Alvarez minus 185. So I have it a little bit closer than that. It's pretty close. I understand why Alvarez is the favorite. See, now that makes sense. He opened at minus 150, just like I have it. Money came in on Alvarez. Now he's gone up to minus 185. I think minus 150. I'm not interested in betting Alvarez at minus 200 or higher. I may have missed the sweet spot for him. I still think he wins, but I don't know. I just don't know. I'm worried if it goes to the cards. So I'm a little my fucking sack hasn't dropped on that one yet. Although I'm leaning Alvarez. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm just like, I might pass on it. Leaning Alvarez, but I'm not a big Jacasey guy either. But I feel like if Mark wrestles him, man, he can make it close, and I will be pissed. I will be pissed if it's a split decision and I have a fucking Alvarez parlay, and it's like the winner by split decision, Mark Jacasey. I'll be pissed. Nah, I don't know about that, man. Especially if it keeps getting wider. Now, like there could be if it gets wider, I feel like there's going to be a little buyback on Jacasey. I feel like if Jacasey ends up creeping up towards plus 200, people are going to like pull the trigger on him. So it could come back down, but at minus 180, see, I have to pay minus 185. That's like the worst line there is. No, minus 188 is the worst, but like, I don't know. I don't know, man. But I like Alvarez for the most part to win that fight. Next bout, gentlemen. Next fight is. Are they fucking power washing outside? The next fight is. This is your prelim co-main. Danny Hot Chocolate Roberts versus Johnny. He has some ridiculous nickname too. Johnny the fucking Sluggernaut, I think. Parsons. Jesus Christ. What a fucking wreck of a fight. I don't even know about this fight, dude. Fight ends inside the distance. Probably be like minus 350. Danny Roberts is old and chinny. He's kind of a glass cannon. Like he does have pretty good offensive striking. I made Roberts a slight favorite, but I also understand the line being what it is now. He's a lot bigger than this dude. I can't tell what they're doing here. Like I can't tell if they're trying to give Roberts a winnable one or if they're trying like Parsons looks ridiculous. I haven't taped him, but like his Tapology picture looks ridiculous. He hasn't fought anybody. I almost wonder if they're trying to give Roberts a winnable fight here, but it's like the style of fight is definitely not like if you're trying to get Roberts a win, it's risky because all this dude does is try and knock people out, and that's Roberts brawls with people, and he doesn't have that great of a chin. So it's like I don't really know what they're doing here. This fight is like what the hell is even that? That's kind of what I feel about this fight. So I don't know, guys. This is what my line was. I made Roberts a slight favorite. But it's kind of like a pick 'em. Yeah, I don't know, man. Or no, wait, no, hold on. I'm not looking at the right. What the fuck is it? Yeah, it's like a pick 'em, dude. I'm actually, dude, BetMGM is giving me the best lines for both of any book right now, of any of the big books. I can get Danny Roberts at minus 105. I can get Parsons at minus 115. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to bet either one. I'm probably just going to stay away from this fight. This one is greasy. One of them probably gets knocked out. I feel like Roberts could actually get the win here, but I don't want to bet Danny Roberts, dude. He's 36 and chinny. If I bet Danny Roberts and this fucking Mongoloid chin checks him, I'm gonna feel so fucking stupid. Like Danny Roberts seems like a good dude. Like he seems like a dude you want to root for, but then he's like his durability just isn't there, and that's like all this dude's gonna try and do. I'm gonna probably stay away from this, but I feel like it could be a little bit wider. Like I feel like if you do like Danny Roberts, you're getting him at a pick 'em. Like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of hard to make him a big underdog against fucking Johnny Parsons. The guy's getting like knocked out by like Jack Della Maddalena and like uh Michelle Pereira. Like Johnny Parsons ain't no fucking like. I know I was like been critical of Jack Della, but he ain't no Jack Della or like. I think Roberts wins, but I'm not really interested in betting it. I'll probably pick Roberts though, but that's hey, like I said, if you like him, he minus 105 on BetMGM. I don't feel too strongly about that fight one way or another, and I can't really tell what they're trying to do with it. You would think he would win, right? Like I'm with you on that. Exactly, dude. That's exactly how I feel about him. It's like it should probably be a little wider, but I see why it's not. But Parsons, man, dude, I'll tell you what. If Johnny the mullet rocking slugger not chin checks Danny Roberts, I think it's probably time for Roberts to hang him up. That'll be a bad look, dude. Some dude that should probably be in bare knuckle, like some fucking mullet riddled jobber just slumps you in front of your peoples. I don't know, man. That's probably the writing is probably on the wall. But it's a winnable. It feels like kind of feels like they're giving him a winnable fight though. Not really the stylistic matchup, but the level of fighter. It's like, dude, this is it, man. Like if you can't beat this guy, it's probably just past it, man. You probably just need to go to PFL or something. Like I don't know, dude. Danny Roberts is 36. He can't really take a hard punch, but I don't think this guy is really the level of people that have been putting him away. So he could win this. I agree with you, Noah. He should win it. I ain't gonna bet that shit though. So that brings us to the main event of the prelims. The prelim headliner, Davy Grant versus Daniel Marcos. Let me tell you my absolute honest opinion about this fight. This seems like exactly the kind of fight where Daniel Marcos is going to be dog shit out of Davy Grant, and then Grant just hauls off and starches him. I don't know what it is, man. Unless he's fighting a ranked fighter, Davy Grant is almost like mythical. Almost. Unless he's fighting like a really unless he's fighting someone like he even fought close against Cheeto, Adrian Yanez. But then you look at like I'm a little bit higher on Assunção than some people, but like he was pretty handily losing the Assunção fight. He caught Assunção. I don't know, man. I'm still kind of waiting to see with Marcos. I lined Marcos as the favorite. The bookies lines ended up being pretty close to how I had it. I have Marcos minus 175 and Davy Grant. The comeback on him is plus 125. That's what I set it at. The bookies have it set at It's a little closer than I have it. The bookies have it a little closer than I do. Another one where it's like Eileen Marcos, the line is tasty, seems like a good parlay piece. Grant is a dangerous guy to bet against, though. Unless it's a fucking established, like, veteran, it's risky, man. Because Marcos, like, I don't know. This is another one where I don't quite know what they're doing. This is what they seems like they do with Davy Grant. They give him these winnable fights, and then they give him they give him a bite that's a little bit too much than he can chew. Like going from Jonathan Martinez to Cheeto was a little crazy. He performs well against Cheeto, then he fights Yanez, has a close fight with Yanez. But then Yanez to Smolka is a pretty big drop off. Not surprising at all that he chin checked Smolka, but he was. Am I imagining that he had some like sketchy moments in that fight too? I don't know. I know he was getting his ass whooped by Sun Sao. I haven't gone back and watched that fight, but I remember a Sun Sao being in control and being like, okay, we're cruising to a victory here. And then he pulls off this bullshit and like a very low percentage move at the very end of the fight. I don't know, man. I feel like I just can't tell what they're doing. It seems like they'd want to be pushing Marcos, but you have Davy Grant, who's like a fan favorite in England. Like, Marcos really hasn't fought anybody. The only guy he's beaten is like Simon Oliveira, and he's like, okay. He's just okay. So I'm not super duper thrilled about jumping in front of Davy Grant. I'm just not. He's just been fighting on a higher level. Marcos seems like the side. Seems like it's like, this is the thing. It's not like Davy Grant is invulnerable. Look, he got, who was it? He got dry. It might have been Day and Martinez hurt him, and then he ended up knocking him out. But like, I feel like Smolka hurt him too. Vera and Yanez definitely hurt him. But I also think they're probably better fighters than Daniel Marcos at this point. I don't know, man. Like, I just don't know. It's a sketchy fight. Davy Grant is the kind of dude where if he does fuck you with a bet, it's going to be a heartbreaker. It's going to be a bet where you're going to be winning it, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's over. So again, a one where I'm like, I like Marcos here. I have it a little wider than the bookies do, but so that line is enticing. The Marcos money line is tasty, tempting, but it also kind of feels like a trap. I know he's a piece of shit. He's just a high-end jobber, man. He's a fun fan favorite high-end jobber. Really high-end jobber. Borderline top 15. He might even be ranked now, but like, man, he was getting whooped by Sun Sao. Now, Sun Sao has been fighting nothing but ranked fighters for years, but he's been fighting nothing but ranked fighters and like prospects for like 5 years now. It's mostly losses, but I'm just saying, like, he beat Victor Henry before. Like, it's not like that's a terrible loss, but he was Like he beat him, but he was losing that fight. So I almost look at that as a loss for Grant. Almost. I feel like if you're just looking at that, oh, look what Grant did at the end. It's like that's not the whole story of that fight. He kind of pulled that, let's be real. He pulled that fucking Sun South fight out of his ass. He did. So I don't know how much I can take from that. If that's another red one, it's like, dude, he I don't know, dude. But Marcos isn't levels above the guys that Grant's been beating. So that's why it's kind of a little tricky. I just don't know if I want to get cute with that. Although I do think there's a chance that Marcos could actually knock him out because he's getting hurt and just surviving. I think there's a chance Marcos could be the one that just slumps him. Because Davey getting up there, he's going to start slowing down a little bit. He'll still have the power, but he's pretty quick and probably going to start to see that begin to, not like he's going to all of a sudden look slow, but Marcos is pretty good. He's just kind of largely untested. We'll see, man. Probably going to pass on it. But you know what, boys? I think that's about it. I think we're going to make this a 2 hour and 15-minute stream. Nice and tidy. Talked for about an hour. Recapping UFC Vegas 77. Talked for another hour. Previewing the prelims of UFC London taking place this weekend. As far as the main event goes, I pretty heavily favor Tom Aspinall. I'll just say that. The line, I think it's a little bit wide. It's wide. I'll just say this. It's wider than I had it. I lined it closer, but still had Aspinall a pretty decent favorite. Tybura has grappling upside. If he's the one offensively grappling, now if Aspinall is the one on top, Aspinall is a legit black belt. Offensively, with Jiu-Jitsu, he's good. Don't sleep on Tommy Aspinall if he's the one on top. I think Tybura is definitely in danger of getting choked. And on the feet, it's Tom Aspinall all fucking day, boys. And I think he probably knocks Tybura out. But yeah, that money line, no thanks. It's a little wide. There you go. There you go, boys. But if you want to know what I feel about the rest, you will have to subscribe to Aaron the Dog MMA and tune in Wednesday. The return of Aaron the Dog and his Wednesday UFC breakdowns. I've been fortunate enough to join him on those breakdowns for the past couple months. It's been awesome. Very much looking forward to this Wednesday. Would love to see y'all there. Tune in. 5 o'clock, boys. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Wednesday. And then I will be back Friday for the weigh-ins. I don't know if they've put out the times yet. It's probably going to be funky. So most likely it's going to end up being a ceremony. They'll definitely have a ceremonial weigh-in. So I'll probably do a ceremonial weigh-in pregame. The weigh-ins, the official weigh-ins, could be at some crazy fucking 5 a.m. or some shit. I don't know, dude. Just stay tuned. But I think that's about it, gentlemen. I'm gonna throw this fucking loop on and get to getting. Get while the getting's good. Start doing some tape study. Narrowing my focus a little bit. Figure out which fights I actually want to target. Start putting my slate together. Won't be going heavy this week. Gonna back off a little bit, but bet a unit or two most likely. Let's see though. Card. Song. Yeah, it was a pretty decent little stream, gentlemen. Thank you to everyone that came through and chopped it up with your boy. Like I said, shout out to my dude Aaron the Dog MMA. Subscribe to his channel. Tune in Wednesday for his UFC London breakdown. Shout out to the boys at Pub Sports Radio. Thanks again to Big Show and Mills and Billy for having me on the podcast. Congratulations to Billy Briz and anyone else that bet Myra Bueno Silva. Had to eat a bunch of crow from UFC Vegas 77. But it's a new week. UFC London is upon us. I'm pretty excited for Wednesday, and I will be back Friday to talk about the weigh-ins and pregame for the ceremonials, most likely. But I hope you all have a good week, man. Best of luck with all your tape study and picks and plays and slates and all that shit. But yeah, man, thanks again. Have a good week. This has been just my 2 cents, and I'll catch you boys on the next one. Peace.